Driver Logic back with another one, folks. Thank you for tuning in once again. If you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. If you're coming over from Instagram and you already know what's up, I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you. I appreciate your love and I appreciate your support. I'm going to do my best to serve you guys and give you content where you can benefit from, where you can learn tips and tricks and get some advice. Hopefully save you some time and prevent hopefully accidents that can happen. So hopefully these are just reminders for everyone, and also for the new drivers or the ones that are getting their licenses soon. This should serve them as well, of course, because I'm going to be sharing a variety of techniques, skill sets, information that's going to benefit the broad spectrum. So hopefully we can create that courtesy, that respect on the road, because without that, we're not going to function as one. Okay, we all need that to function on the road properly. So in today's video, I just wanted to quickly touch base on hand positioning on the steering wheel. And I know sometimes if you've been watching and following me on Instagram and throughout the reels that I do, I've been driving for a while. I've been driving for a long time. And my hand position sometimes is under grip in certain turns, one hand position at the 12 o'clock mark, down here. People prefer this. If they consider themselves skilled or experienced, they would get comfortable on the steering wheel, right? Everyone has their own preference. Now, if you're newer to driving, you just got your license or you're looking to get your license, I don't suggest you start being fancy and silly with the steering wheel. I suggest you be safe and build your skill, confidence, and get experience before you start getting creative behind the steering wheel. So at all times, what you should do is have your left hand on the 9 o'clock mark and have your right hand on the 3 o'clock mark. This is the safest way to hold the steering wheel at all times. And this is a comfortable slight bend in your elbow, and it's a comfortable resting point as well for your hands. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the parking lot and I'm gonna show you how to properly position it and how to properly turn. I understand I had some comments at times, people saying, oh, why are you holding the steering wheel this way? Well, just because, listen, I've been driving for 22 years now. I'm skilled enough and comfortable enough to pretty much drive with my knees. But for a newer driver, I don't want you seeing some of my videos and picking up on bad habits. So that's why I'm doing this review, just to make sure that you know what the proper way is. So pay attention. 9 o'clock mark, 3 o'clock mark at all times. When you're doing half turns, this is okay. Okay? When you're going past the half turn, you're gonna switch hands. All right, so pay attention. I'm gonna go past the half turn, meaning when I'm at the 6, I'm gonna grab with the other hand at the 12. And then when the wheel is supposed to straighten out, you let it go. Obviously having your palms over it, and the wheel is gonna come back into the neutral position. So pay attention again. 6, 12. And let go, keeping your palms over it. It's gonna come back into neutral position. Okay? One more time. Simple as that. We're gonna go left now. And let go. Simple as that. Now, none of this shit. Okay, none of that, none of the under grips until you are a pro, none of the open palm until you're a pro. Okay, so 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, half turn or quarter turn actually. Okay, and okay, so that was basically how to hold the steering wheel properly and how to turn. if you're new at this and you're learning, of course, come to a big parking lot, make sure it's empty or as empty as possible. And what you want to do is, like I said in one of my reels before on Instagram, get a feel for the gas pedal and get a feel for the brake pedal, meaning punch the gas, punch the brake. You want to make sure you understand the vehicle that you're going to be using for your on-road driving with your guardian, for the practice that you're going to be doing in the parking lots. You want to make sure that that vehicle you get yourself familiarized with, because you need to understand what that vehicle is capable of and what it can do, how fast you can accelerate and how fast you can stop. That being said, you're going to be getting in front of cars, behind cars, in between cars, changing lanes, merging, getting off the highway. So like I said, you need to understand how fast your vehicle can stop and how fast it can accelerate. I don't want you being on a right turn or at a left turn on a traffic light, on an intersection, and then you are hesitant and then you proceed way too slow and almost cause an accident. So that's why it is important to come to a parking lot before you do this. Do your turning, of course. Understand the vehicle and your gas pedal and your brake pedal. And then you can say, aha, now I understand. Okay, this is how fast I can accelerate. This is how fast I can stop. Also, another good advice is when you start doing all these things in a parking lot, it is also important to understand the length and the width of your vehicle, because you're going to be stopping behind vehicles. You're going to be parking, I assume, and I hope. That means that you have to understand the spaces you're going to fit in. So most people would come to this, most people would approach another vehicle at this distance and they would say, oh my God, like that's it. This is as close as I can get. But that's how close you really should get. So you have that extra space that you're not familiar with. Let me show you how close that is, because this looks really close, but when you get out of the vehicle and you look at it, watch, there's another 2 or 3 foot. Okay, so it's not that close as you think. So it is important for you to get to know and familiarize yourself with that vehicle you're going to be using. Like I said, the length, the width, and obviously gas and brake pedal, and the steering wheel, meaning the turning radius and how you're going to be using your hands to turn. Can I make this turn without hitting this pole? So all that stuff is the key to building yourself up before you get on the road, before you get on the highway. Understanding your vehicle, what it can do, what it can't do, the length, the width, the brake, the gas pedal, the steering wheel, your hand positioning, turning radius. All these things are key factors before you start going on to the road with your parent, with your guardian. They're gonna start getting emotional. They're gonna start yelling and raising their voice and stop and go and do this and turn now. Which means most likely it's not gonna last. The emotions are gonna take over. And you're gonna say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, because it's not a joke. People can cause accidents and people can get hurt and people can die, of course, and cause property damage, charges, and all that before you even start your driving career. That's pretty much all for this one. I wanted to go over these key steps and key scenarios because I have a lot of people that, like I said, are newer to driving and are just getting their license, and that's why I wanted to go over this, because I felt like this is important for them to understand that you need to understand your vehicle, you need to get familiar with it, learn it, and that will be a huge help before you just blindly start driving on the road. So that's all for this one. Again, thank you for all your support. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until the next one, folks,